Today we talk about sanitation. Hello legends and super legends, welcome to Veloharmony. In today's video I want to talk about sanitation, especially in the time of dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. Primarily I was inspired to do this video because I know that everybody's cooped up, and depending on where you live in the world, you may not be allowed to go outside. There are people who can't even go out for a walk their dogs, they can't ride their bikes, whatever. We're able to still go out and do stuff, but we can't gather in large groups in our part of the world right now, in the Houston area. But we're still having schools that are closed. They're going to be extended through May 4th. We just got an update from my daughter's schools. But what I really wanted to focus on is keeping your head up in this time where you're cooped up. There's a tendency to get a little down on yourself. Avoid watching the news all the time. There was a gentleman on here, one of our legends, said that Sky News was like keeping up with the deaths, like it was a cricket score. Well, CNN does the same thing. And even today, my wife was watching CNN. I happened to be in the room, and Anderson Cooper's on with Sanjay Gupta and somebody else, and the ticker said, the breaking news basically, that you can catch the COVID through talking or breathing. Like, really? But it didn't say whether it came from the CDC or wherever. It just said experts said. Well, there are no experts. This is a new virus. Nobody knows anything about it. We're still learning. So who are these experts? So I went to the CDC site to see if they had posted anything. Got to the site. And of course, all the site is concerned about is if you're sick, do this. If you got these symptoms, do this. Because that's really all you can do now. There is no cure. We don't know anything about it. So try not to watch all these news programs, but really they just bring you down. You know, do something else. Get out of the house, get on your trainer, watch your favorite TV programs, spin on the bike. If you can't go outside, I saw another legend on here that said that they're not allowed to ride their bikes outside. Well, don't fret over that. Get on your bike, put it on a trainer. If you don't have a trainer, now's the time to buy a trainer. I've been getting a lot more requests for bike repairs this week than any time recently, because everybody's getting their bikes. You know, usually we get our bikes and we hang it up in the garage. So people now are getting their bikes and they're getting out. In our area, I see a lot of families, little groups of people riding with the kids or whatever. You got to do stuff to keep your mind and keep you upbeat, keep your mind up. Okay, so if it means that you get on your trainer, you get on your Stairmaster, whatever, even though you can't go outside wherever you are, don't focus on the fact that you can't go outside. They're doing their best to try to starve this virus. Try to do something where you are. If you're in your basement because you're quarantined or whatever, like the Cuomo guy on CNN got he was diagnosed positively with COVID-19. He's in the basement and he has his exercise equipment there. And his buddy Don Lemon was telling him, don't feel that you have to get on that equipment, because right now he's been told to take it easy because they want to make sure that he doesn't have any problems, you know, because that's the main reason they're keeping us apart, so that all of us don't get sick at the same time and have to run to the hospitals that are already inundated. That's what it's about. So try not to focus so much on this thing. This is not the end of the world. We'll get through this. What you want to do is take it a day at a time and find things to keep yourself upbeat. Use this time to connect closer with your loved ones, your family that you're with, or call the other people that are not nearby on your phone, and do keep your distance, because you don't know who has it and who doesn't. The main thing I wanted to talk about here is that we have this situation, and in our area here, I don't know how it is about where you guys are. You can put your comments below. But Paul and I were discussing it. We went to Costco. And the day we were there, we didn't have that issue. But prior to that, people had literally a run on the stores where there were a lot of hoarding. And by the time we got to go look for the things we wanted, they were restricting, like you could only buy 1 case of water or 1 case of Gatorade. Because usually I would buy 2 or 3 cases of Gatorade or whatever. And so the reason they were doing that, they wanted to make sure that everybody would have access to the things that they needed. I'm not sure why people felt the need to hoard or run on these stores and buy up stuff. Somebody mentioned here they were buying up toilet tissue, not really sure why. But the point I'm trying to get to is this. If we have a disease that we don't know anything about and we're told to keep 6 feet away from people, avoid a lot of public gatherings or whatever, why would you want to go in a line where you're right next to somebody? The lines were snaking outside and around the block from some of these stores. They were doing the exact opposite of what we should have been doing. And I'm talking this is a week or two ago. So all of these issues have led to us already the fact that we were behind and we're just now testing and catching up. That's why the numbers are jumping. So you don't need to freak out. We're just now finding out because there's no way you can test everybody anyway. And the reason I'm saying that is we did stuff that didn't make sense after we found out this thing was out there. We shouldn't have been standing in line next to someone. So people picked up stuff from there. Who knows? You see, that was not the time to be standing in line. So another point I want to make is when you go outside, that's when you're getting exposed. Anytime you go to a strange place, let's say you go to Walmart, you walk in. If you touch the door to enter, which most Walmarts are automated, so it's not an issue, but anything you touch could possibly be a source of contamination. So you got to make sure that you wash your hands. Everybody's been talking about it because reason is, you're not going to remember to not touch your face. It happens. That's a normal thing. You're going to touch your face, whatever, your nose, that's how you get the stuff. So focus that if you're going somewhere away from your home, if you're able to, like we are here, and that's something I actively remind my wife of because she's always running around doing errands. You're going to leave the home and you go to some public place. What are you going to buy? Groceries or whatever. Before you touch the cart, like at Walmart, they have these strips. You pull them out. You can wipe the handle on the cart or whatever. What I do is I make sure I wipe the cart, go in, do my grocery shopping. If I'm going to use cash, because cash can be contaminated too, because you don't know where it's been. So after you do those kind of transactions, either you sanitize yourself, your hand with a hand sanitizer, or wash your hands. Or if you order something, you order takeout. Well, you don't know who's been handling the packages that the food's in. So once it gets to the house and you say you empty the food or whatever, before you eat, wash your hands. You got to try to remember that. And you really need to remember to wash both sides of your hands. And then the most important thing is don't touch the faucet after you're done. Because if you don't have an automated shut off, if you touch the faucet after washing your hands, you've recontaminated your hands again. So, you wipe your hands and maybe use the paper towel to shut off the water. Those are the little things. The key is that just remember that every time you go to a strange place other than your home, which we've been told to stay home, that's why all the businesses are closed. That's the chance of you getting in contact with whatever's out there, COVID, the flu, whatever. So what I'm saying does not only apply to the pandemic. This is something that we should have been doing all along anyway. So when you get out there and you're touching doors and other things, that public places, pushing an elevator button or whatever, you got to remember, I can't touch my face or anything until I wash my hands. If you're going to be using your hand. If you're that worried about it, slip on some gloves. I've seen people out there wearing masks. I went to a grocery store to get my automobile title renewed. And I got my transaction done, but because of the way they were set up, the exit door was closer the way I came in. So as I was going back, there was a lady waiting to come in. She was wearing a mask and she did like this. And I was thinking I'm afraid of you because I see you wearing a mask. The first thing I think about is you're infected. I mean, who's walking around at a park with a mask on? It's a bit much. If you go to a hospital or some place like that, yeah, I would probably wear a mask, but out here where we are, wide open spaces, people walking around with masks at the park, they kind of look a little odd, but hey, whatever makes people comfortable, I guess I'm fine with that. My only concern is we don't want to buy up all the masks and then the people in the hospitals, the health workers that need it, don't have access to it. So you keep that in mind, but don't let it get you down. We will get through this. There's the reason I'm making this video, just to kind of keep you guys, informed and entertained and pumped up so you can get out and get your K's in if you live where you can get out. If not, get on your trainer while you watch this video or our group rides. We'll be going out. Hopefully my buddy will be better. I don't know, but I will film more this weekend. to have something and keep content on the channel while we go through this. But the reason I keep mentioning the trainer is the guys on here, our legends, are talking about can't go out, but nobody mentioned that, hey, I can get on my trainer. It was like, you know, it was a bummer that it can't go out, but they didn't remember that, hey, you have access to the trainer. You can do that for your sanity. You know, the human body was not meant to just sit. You know, we're sociable animals, and it's hard to not socialize. This stuff, what they call social distancing, which is kind of weird anyway, it's not natural, you know, so it's hard for us to do that. I see people still talking to each other. You know, my wife was talking about the people at the golf course. One guy was social distancing, the other guy wasn't, but they're playing golf. You know, people are doing the best they can to follow and adhere to the rules, but some people lose sight of it because we're just naturally sociable people. You know, we're not meant to be locked up and cooped up, and that's what's getting to people. So people are going to be short-tempered and different, you know, things are going to get on people's nerves. So keep that in mind as you deal with people. So I just want to wrap up by saying that keep your head up, stay positive, stay active, even if you're indoors. Do something, open the window, whatever, while you do it so you can look outside or whatever, okay? Because we will get through this. They're doing it for our well-being because we don't understand what we're dealing with at this point. To that effect, no matter what, get your K's in.